Welcome back to another weekend. We have the Knights Duel today. They're going to go ahead and lag. And not exactly sure what the game is today. All right.
Yeah, so this is the King's Court. We're about to start the Knights Duel. My name is Ray Skinnendor. And this is Kyle.
Yes, sir.
Kyle, I've never commentated with you before, brother.
Nope. I'm pretty new here. I'm from Arizona.
Cool. Cool. So looks like they just lagged. They're racking up a rack of 10 ball. And I can go ahead and do a little introduction on the players here.
Hey guys, I'll be here for a little bit, so if you got any questions or anything.
There's Patrick.
That's me.
Or it's just a voice in the clouds.
I'll be taking off here in a few minutes, but
Maybe you can give us that pro intro, 'cause you're so good at it.
Kyle's got the intro. Hit it, Kyle.
I did a little bit of an intro. It wasn't too flashy or anything, but
All right. Well, you got the players introduced. Let them know we're playing. What are we playing today? We're playing 10 ball, right? Race to 12. The Mad Apple Burgers and Billy Company, located on West College Avenue, Appleton, Wisconsin. And we got Ray, the People's Champ, South Strip Skinnador in the booth. What's up,
Yow!
man? Or, I'm sorry, Skinnador.
Hey.
Skinnador.
I hail from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
And we got Kyle Spicoli Drake.
yes, sir. Catches that one ball a little thick there to start it off.
And so I'm not sure we did a good intro on the players here. This is Tom Manena versus Stephen Hill. Looking for usually dealing with the questionnaires here. I want to zip through those. I don't have those pulled up, Pat. Is that easy to do?
Yeah, so there's the arrows. If you're looking at the screen, there'll be arrows up there on the top, kind of by the browser. Just click those left and right. It'll take you over to you might need to click back a little bit for Tom because this is his second or third week. So,
And then find him on that list. All right. We got a couple of new engineers here in the booth, so we'll try to keep it clean for you guys, but just bear with us here. Meanwhile, we got a pretty closed off look at this one ball because I'm not sure it passes the 3 here. Yeah, and we got a little bit of a cluster up there by the 8 ball is at the 2-8-10. The 10 was actually made on the snap, and it's not going to be a win. It's going to spot up on the spot. 5 ball ended up on the spot, so the 10 goes right behind it.
check it out. He's putting the crosshairs on the ball just like he was doing last week. But all right, guys, I think you got it figured out. I'm going to head out for the day, so enjoy.
All right, Pat. Thanks.
Yep.
We'll try not to burn the house down.
Yeah, we'll give that a big try.
So I lost. You said click here. Now it won't let me click on the name here.
Now you're going to go over to individual.
Okay.
Patrick, who is who?
So I
Steve's
pulled
at the
one
table right
up. Tom. I got the Tom screen, but not the other one.
All right, so we got Steve running the balls out. He overcut that 2 ball a little bit, but it's going to end up real nice behind the 9. This is not an easy kick to
It
the
is.
2-ball either, because the 8-ball blocks the 1 path, and the 2-railer is around the 10. Tough to get a rail if you under hit that ball. But nonetheless, Steve's at the table. He's got a decent chance to try to play some kind of safety here. What do you think, Ray?
All right, I'm just catching up here with the. So let's take a look at this game. I have played Steve Hill before. I am not familiar with Tom Manena's game, but this is how you get familiar right here. We got 2 players well over 500. This is wow. He's got a jump cue out. Is going for a jump 2-rail kick hit, and so it was as hard as it sounded. Maybe even a 3-railer, like a quick 3rd short rail.
Coming in behind.
And just trying to get a hit. Then you got to get a rail after that, so it's even harder. But he didn't have much, so I mean. Plus, it's the first game. I always here we go.
Ran into the 10-ball there.
Ran into the 10-ball super flat, and not only did you not want to run into it at all, you didn't want to run into it flat, creating distance,
Right.
keeping your cue ball far away from the 3, and he's paying full price for that mistake. So he missed the 3. He's giving up ball in hand right after he just got ball in hand, and so now we got Tom back. Tom with a good little opportunity here.
Yeah. No real problems. You got to get good on the 7. And probably play it
7 is your
table.
problem. Yeah, you're going to have to go short side and play it up table, hopefully with not much angle so you can stop it for the 8. That is your big main concern right now. 6 shape from 6 to the 7.
Yeah. So it looks like he's going to create a little bit of an angle on his 4-ball to get back up for the 6 pretty comfortably. Yeah, just like that. That's real nice.
So I ask people this all the time. For you, I have an answer, but for you, what's the which game is harder to win? Which game puts more outside added pressure that maybe doesn't even make much sense, but it's just there? The first game or the last game? So we're doing a race to 12. Which game is harder to play your best game? The first game or the last game?
Yeah, let us know in the comments too as well. I think it's probably the first game for me. You know, I feel like if you get to the last game, you got some kind of rhythm going, so you just need to work off of that. But
For me, it's the first game as well. I have polled this question, and it's not a landslide. It is pretty close to 50-50. Because when you're on the hill, just closing out the set and getting that final game is way tougher than it sounds. And then for me, the first game, there's all kinds of like pressure and butterflies, and you lose the first game, and now there's even more pressure, and now you're down 2-0, 3-0, and it just feels like, man, when am I gonna get off of this schneid?
Right, yeah. It's harder to build momentum than regain it, It's one of those things where if you can't get off the mark, it's super, especially if we're talking about 3 or 4 games in, it gets real difficult to get off the mark and catch back up. All right, so he's playing to where that 7 passes a 9. It's real tight. It's a half pocket.
Yeah, he did bump it out. I didn't like strategy there, but he chose to bump it out. And nope, it did not bump out. He's called the 9-ball. So 10-ball is call pocket. You can only call one shot at a time, and right now he has called the 9-ball. He's calling a combo 9-ball in the corner. Not easy at all.
Yeah, we'll see what he does with the
Oh, he hit it
here.
good. No reward, though.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate there.
That's the problem with hard shots. You hit a good hard shot, and next thing you know, you got another hard shot.
Yeah.
Even if you make it, that's part of why that shot was so hard, because it's hard to set up for the next one.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of a gamble when you got to run into balls or play combos to judge exactly how they're going to end up. But he's going to try to kick this in, it looks like.
Fires at it. Very aggressive. I like that. Coming out early in the match, aggressive, and just see if you got a gear. I can bear down later and go shot by shot. But right now, let me just see if I can just put a 12-pack on his ass. That's how I like to start matches too.
Right.
And sometimes you can. Usually you can't, but it's worth the try. It's a lot harder to put packages down after you start out tight. In my opinion, it's easier to do it early on.
Yeah, and that also kind of helps you settle into the match if you pull it off. It gains confidence, and you got a little bit more momentum going into the latter half of the match. So he ended up real parallel on his 8-ball. Tough cut here.
50-yard line. He had good seats if you're at Lambeau Field, but on the pool table, that's not where you want to be.
Yeah.
And again, he had to kind of pay the price there. Missed the shot. Did leave distance though. Which is, I mean, it may even have been a safety. I don't think so.
And so,
but here we go, Tom. Tom is shooting for the win. You make this ball. You're hitting this straight top. You could put a hair of outside on it, but I don't because the shot's already hard enough. I'm hitting this ball straight top with power to come back about where I am right now. At least make it back to the center point of the table. Oh, nope, he's just rolling in. He likes it in the side.
Yeah, I agree with the side shot. You don't have to put it outside and overcut that ball, and he hit it real clean. He hit it real clean and real smooth.
Boom. There it is.
There is our first game.
One nut.
That 8-ball is really, I really feel like that 8-ball could settle him into the rest of the rack.
So here we go. Tom Anthony Manena. Lots of syllables. I like saying that name. Thomas Anthony Manena. I like also giving nicknames out there. If anybody out there knows Tom Manena and he has a nickname already, please put that in the comments. We would love to hear that. But I'm going through his questionnaire. He is from Nina. He is 37. He wears a size XL shirt. And his cue information. He has a break stick. It's a Q-Tech Thunderbolt. We're about to feel that thunder right now.
Yeah, let's see how it cracks off here.
With the hard tip, this was his original playing cue as a kid. Now he uses it as a break cue. Put a hard tip on it. I like that. So you got the future you playing with a hand from the past you.
Yeah,
the cue you had as a kid, helping you out. You just put a hard tip on there and break with it. I like it.
I feel like a lot of players end up doing that when they first get started. They'll get a cue and then they'll progress a little bit and get their second cue, and then end up putting a phenolic tip on one of those two instead of going out and buying a brand new break cue. And it looks like he just never let it go. Oh, man, but look at this. He's kind of in jail, huh? He definitely got to play a push.
This is insane. He made a ball, and he has – not only does he have no shot, he has no hit. And not only does he have no hit, even after the push out, the hit could be very, very hard. And not only that, even after the perfect push out, if you have ball in hand to push out, where are you going to put this ball?
Right.
I mean to even set it up for some kind of like safety or something.
This is a tough push out because you don't want to give yourself that one ball's locked up. It's basically in jail. It's really tough to push out to where your opponent doesn't have a decent option and you have some kind of confidence going into it. So he'll probably get this back because that's not an easy hit like you said.
Yeah, he tried to break it out because he's like, look, I don't like anything I see from this push. Let me try and break it out. He did a little bit, but he hooked himself, so he's getting this shot right back.
Yeah, and he'll play this 2 rails.
Jacking up, trying to hit it 1 rail with spin.
Yeah, that had to be like a mass A into the one if you're trying to hit it.
Uh-oh. Do you see what I see?
Yeah, that 10 ball is.
Do you see
hanging.
what I see?
Let's see how aggressive Steve wants to be.
Oh, man, you got to play this 10 ball. Come on, Steve. It has a natural safe stuck tuck right behind the 3. You can even freeze up backside on the 3 if you want. The 4s looks no good, so there's no clean run out. This is banger's heaven. Play that money ball.
Yeah, I wonder.
110 on the side.
I wonder if they're playing 3 foul because that is up to the players. So if they're playing 3 foul, I might even just consider 3 foul him. He did break up the 4 right there. And
Okay.
can he see enough of that 2 ball to squeak it by the 3 in the side, do you think?
I
It's
don't
close.
know.
Looks like that's what he's
Even if he
lining up.
does, it's not easy. But if he does make this and get shape on the 3, then
Yeah.
that should secure the rack. Nope, missed it.
That was a little too skinny for comfort there. It was a real thin hit on the 2, so he went with the run out, and he did have an opportunity to end the rack early there as well. It'd be interesting to see what happens from here.
All right, so I know the answer for Steve Hill regarding the hardest game to win. I know his answer, and it's the first game. First game he had ball in hand, and he gave his opponent back ball in hand 1 shot later. And the second game he had ball in hand, and he's giving his opponent back ball in hand 1 shot later.
Right.
So he's struggling to get off the schneid, off that goose egg.
Off the starting line.
But once you get off the starting line, yes, now you open up. Because I played Steve, and he can play. He's good. This is not the Steve Hill that we all know and love right now. He's just easing in. He's easing into this match.
Yeah, and you don't want to wait too long. I mean, it's a race to 12, so he's got some time. But obviously, the more he waits, the longer he starts giving Tom the early advantage. The harder it is to battle back, even if you do settle in. You know.
Okay, now he's playing the 210 with a worse angle than the 2 was sitting at before. So this kind of drives home my point of he should have played the 210 earlier.
The 110.
He had a bet.
Yeah.
Was it the 110? Yeah.
Yep.
He had a better angle, and there was a just dead safe sitting there. It was right next to the ball where you could just block the cue ball up on that ball, and even if you missed it, have the easy 2-way. Here, there's no 2-way. This is kind of a do or die.
Right. This is one of those where you focus on the speed and make sure you don't sell out if you miss it. Which he actually did miss it, and it looks like he didn't sell out too bad. I mean, that 2 ball might go down table, but not an easy cut. That's a big point, playing that 2 ball down in the bottom right.
Shooting quick here. Looks like he's going to try and play a safe behind the 8. Played that shot well. Love it.
That's a real nice touch. Not to clip the 8. If you clip that 8, you kind of sell out the 2. All right, so we got Tom coming to the table. He's hooked. He's got a couple options here. He can jump, which is what he's going to do. He's going to dart this in and get to the side view here.
Nice. Hit that like Fedor.
Yeah.
Just jumped up with confidence. He's Fedor's the best, I think, at jumping, in my opinion.
Watch that one.
There's a couple in the same league, but Copigny, maybe Shane. But in my opinion, Fedor is the best. And
at the jump shot? Yeah, absolutely.
jump shot, yeah. Shape on the jump shot. Long, short, spin afterwards, spin before, whatever. You pick it. You set it up, and I'll take Fedor for the cash.
He'll pretty much knock it in, huh?
Yeah, just like Tom did right there. Tom hit it like a dream.
Yeah, and he darted that ball. I don't know. It's obviously a player preference whether you dart it or you shoot it jacked up, but I feel like the dart gets up quicker, it's a little harder to aim.
Yeah, here's something to notice. Guess what? Guess how many pros dart?
I don't think I've seen a pro dart. Maybe one or two.
Not many.
You
yeah.
know what? I think I've seen Melling hit a dart shot or two, but that's when the cue ball is quite close.
Yeah, and there's probably a reason for that. So, anybody out there working on your jump shots, like myself, I just played a tournament in Kiwani, and my first 4 jump shots, I did not get over the initial ball. I was hitting it progressively harder and harder, and I ended up changing. I had 3 break sticks or jump sticks out. Until I at least got over that first ball, and finally I did, but it was kind of too late. I was doomed. I was out of my. Oh yeah, this is a toughie.
There you can see he hooked himself on the. Oh no, he's on the 8.
He's shooting the 8, but it's real tough to get down. 9 center rail on the far end of the table. I think the only thing you can do here is hit this with a ton of low left. Try and dodge that side pocket.
Yeah, are you coming before the side pocket?
No, I'm trying to draw past the side pocket with a ton of low left, and come 2 rails or 3 and get down table for the 9.
Yeah, and the only issue with that is missing the 8 ball with all that spin. And if you put in bottom and the 8 ball is on the rail, it's real easy to pull that 8 ball off the rail. So it looks like he's just gonna go 2. Oh wow, he put top on it. Yeah, he played the top inside. It looks like he hit it a little thick and ended up down there on the bottom left, which is
So that's possible. What he did, I don't like it, and it's because of the cue ball.
a lot of movement in the cue ball there and to control and make that 8 ball.
Well, I've been in this argument many times. I believe the measle ball plays the heaviest out of all the cue balls. And so when I say it plays the heaviest, I've had actual like digital scales busted out and we've seen the weights. I'm not talking about it is the heaviest. When I say it plays the heaviest, what I mean is this ball is like the boulder in Indiana Jones. It does what it wants to do. It knows what you want to do. You can put inside on it. You can do what he just did and try and put a ton inside and try and dodge that 2 rails and get back down. This cue ball does what it wants to do. And that cue ball, you had to have a lighter playing cue ball that will take all that spin and grab and do more.
Right.
This cue ball is going to do less. And so if you're not regularly playing with this cue ball, it's hard to know that. It's hard to know that I can put max English on this and still scratch. He was during that shot, his probably number one concern was even less than making the shot itself, was to make sure I put enough English on this where it will not scratch. I'll at least come 2 rails and have a chance at shape. I may miss the ball, but I'm not going to scratch. Well, guess what? This cue ball says, hold my beer, watch this.
Right, and it just plays heavy, like you said, a little bit heavier, and you don't get as much action. It really exposes you when you're not really in tune with your touch. And so it might work out for him, though. It looks like Tom played a little bit of lax of a shape on the 9, and he played what I like to call is a sellout safe there, because this is even if you don't come out with an attacking shot, this is an easy safety to return. You can clip this 9 ball real thin because you're nice and close and play a good speed and really not move the 9 ball too much and really force the issue on your opponent, Whereas if you were to play safety clipping the 9 beforehand, even though you might not hit as good, you still cause distance. And so he played attacking there, and that's going to actually work out really well for Tom coming back to the table. And pretty straightforward here. You just want to kill the cue ball, or you could play a 1 rail off the side rail, come back to the middle.
Well, you earlier said sell out safe. speaking of selling out, on that shot right there, he just sold the car, the house, the farm, the firstborn.
Yeah, you
He
might be sleeping
sold
outside.
it all. Yes, you're looking for a cozy spot behind Walmart tonight because you sold everything.
And there's a good stroke. Nice roll. Roll in for the 10 ball and make it nice and smooth. All right.
Tommy Boy, 2-0. That's my favorite comedy. Number 1, Tommy Boy. And then I like Kingpin too. 1 and 1A.
Tommy Boy's a great movie.
So let's take a look at this break. My favorite shot in all the pool is the 9-ball break shot, and I also like the break shot in the other games. 10-ball, what you want to do is get a tight rack, and you got to smack that 1-ball head on, which you just did. Ideally, you want to get a little bit of elevation on your bridge hand and create a pop. So when you do hit it square and hard like you just did, the cue ball kind of pops and stays in an area just above the 2 side pockets. He had no pop on that. His cue was too level. Wow, he's firing at a jump early here. He's feeling these jump shots.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's not bad. That is not bad. And it looks like that's about what he's trying to do. Just get the hit and create distance, get the cue ball down table. There's way ton of traffic here. Ain't nobody getting out. Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's.
I
one
think
of those
Fedor has some
things.
competition on his hands.
Oh, is he gonna get a? Yeah, he'll get a rail here. That was a great return, and that's one of those things where you come off the break and you might hit a. That's an aggressive play when you do have a push out. To go ahead and try to play a safety, especially when you have to hit a jump shot, because a lot of things can kind of happen that you don't really know. You know, it's not a high percentage shot, especially if you don't have this particularly attacking shot. So it did work out. He didn't sell out the 1-ball, and that's just real aggressive to force the envelope on your opponent there. But we got Steve here. It looks like a nice open table here. He's going to get by that 5. Oh, that's real close. That's really close. We'll look at the overhead here. Try to get it there.
Shooting that pink 4-ball.
Yeah.
Where's the purple ball at, by the way?
The purple ball is behind the desk. We're playing with the TV balls today.
Have you heard my rant about this yet? I can do it again.
I haven't.
But good God.
What do you think about the TV balls, Ray?
I want my 4-ball to be purple. # make pool great again.
Well, the thing with that is, I mean, one thing I did notice today is that Mason did replace the lights over the table, so it is much brighter. And with the purple ball, it's a little easier to see because the lights are real nice and crisp. But if you don't have the best lit table, the purple ends up blending in really well with the 2 and the 8. So those 3 balls end up being really close in color when you can't really get over the table and watch them yourself. It's a little harder to call from the booth. But
well, we're all pool players. Like, it's not like our first rodeo, you know what I mean? Are there people who are like half colorblind who confuse blue and purple and black? Like, I get that there's more contrast with pink than there is. Would you say the blue blends in?
Yeah.
There's more contrast with pink than there is blue. Okay, I agree. But I think you're burying the lead here. You're forgetting your basic functions, and that's you're just doing too much.
Right.
Well,
I mean, luckily, okay, we're not talking about like the Cyclop balls, right? You know what I'm talking about there with the goofy colored 6 and the 7, and you know there you have a really light purple 4, I believe, and I think the 5 is a different color too. No,
Yeah, that's what it is. So that Cyclops, they have the turquoise 7.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to sell a new set of balls. That is the bottom line for a lot of these changes. They are. Oh, he didn't like that. He was down on the 10. He didn't like what he saw. He got up. He's rechalking. He's refocusing. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm loving me some Tommy Boy. This body language, this focus, the mannerisms, the routine. His jump shots are stand out. He is all in right now. He is ready to fight and die and claw his way to do whatever he has to do on this pool table right now.
Yeah, and there you go. There's another good out. He really reassessed that 10 ball and stepped up and hit it with some confidence. Make sure he gets that third game on the board. And so yeah, like you said earlier, man, Steve is kind of digging himself an early hole here.
Well, I got Steve's questionnaire here queued up, and I'm gonna bring up some stuff there as soon as he wins a game or plays some good shots here. But let's stick on Tom. Let's stay positive. I got Tom. He likes 9-foot diamonds. He's gonna do the head ball smash again here on his break, which
yeah.
I don't like how level his cue is. He gets no pop. I really don't like him going forward there. I used to work on my break and practice my break a lot. I used to have a really, really, really good break. People would, get mad when they lose and say, "Oh, you just have a good break." Well, yeah, while you're practicing spot shots and browsing for different kind of keychains, I'm out there practicing my break.
Right. By the way, back to the little debate we have. We have one person. We have Saul Rivers saying he likes the traditional colors. He's called them the correct colors. And we have Patrick Glenn who says TV balls all the way. Of course.
Hey, okay,
Patrick's
chat
on the
room.
stream.
We have YouTube chat room. Stand up. What do you guys have to say? We're behind, but we're gonna catch up. What are they saying again?
We got Saul. We got one vote for each of those sets. Saul's saying that he likes the correct color for, and then Patrick says he likes TV balls. It's a good debate, and then we also got Saul saying that 9 ball is his game, so he's a rotation player. But let us know, you guys, because really this is for you. Whatever you guys prefer to watch on the stream. I don't think it really matters to the players that much either. When I'm on the table, it doesn't matter to me as much as really, I guess, the production quality. But that is an interesting point because
matters to me. Matters that what was his name? Andrew Tate.
That's a great safety.
What was the Tate guy's name?
Yeah,
What's his name?
Tate
at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, you had it right, Mr. Tate. Joey Tate, actually, it's
Joey Tate. Matters to him.
Yeah, he made a.
He's about to beat Shane at the U.S. Open.
And
plays shape for the pink ball. He's looking all around for some purple.
Yeah.
Can't find it.
He ended up playing the purple.
And Shane said,
pink.
"Sit down.
Ooh, is that?
Be humble, because now you're about to lose. Because I know what color he and yeah, it was just brutal." I guess it's not as bad. These TV balls aren't as bad as some of the
that's
big
the
TVs where they have an actual purple 5.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense to me, switching up 2 colors.
Not just switching the color,
but
literally switching the 4 ball from purple and then the 5 ball to purple. How much sense does that make?
Right. And that's... I'm telling you, man.
I know you ain't. I know you guys even you guys who like this pink 4 ball. I know you ain't standing up for that. They're trying to sell balls. It's just like the pink jerseys in football.
Yep. And we got Mike B here. Mike B says that when he's watching the stream, which I agree with, when you're watching the stream, it's easier to see the pink. He's saying that he likes to watch the pink, but when he's playing, he plays with the traditional 4 ball, and that's the purple. And so I agree. You know, I don't like I said, I don't think it matters to me as much when I'm playing, but when I'm watching, it's easier. It's much more easy to determine.
And
those
so you are
balls.
having a problem, you're saying, making out the 4-ball ahead of time. So when you say it's easier, you're saying that there's a possible problem averted?
Right, as far as watching. Yeah, and when you're on the table, it doesn't really matter as much. Oh, is he going to get hooked on this 5-ball? It looks like he might have popped out just enough.
Hit it perfect. Short side.
Yeah, so he's going to have a thin snip, a nice little thin snip on the 5 and the side. Probably play the cue ball one rail up and down off the end. Come back to the middle for the 6.
Randy doesn't like the TV balls. He's in the chat room. Thank you for backing me up, Randy. I'm literally looking at the finest screens money can buy. And you were saying, did he hook himself on the 4-ball? And I'm looking for purple. So as you're saying, it's easier
I
for
thought
you.
I said 5. Hook himself on the 5.
No. I mean, he was shooting the 4.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the ball that he's supposed to be aiming at, and I looked past the pink ball 2 or 3 times before I had
Thinking
to.
it was, yeah.
Yeah, and so when you're saying it's easier to make out certain colors, I'm a pretty good pool player. I'm a pool master. I'm an expert, and it's harder for me. So maybe for the layman, somebody who's never played pool, who doesn't know that the 6 ball's green and the 8 ball's black. People who don't know, okay, now you're gonna just make a new set of balls where you get the most standout colors you can for some kind of TV broadcast, or whatever. But we're pool players.
Right.
We're not getting that many brand new viewers who are coming here and confused with. And I hope we do. I mean, that's growth. That's what you want. But
playing shape for the bank on the 8 here.
You can't discount the people who literally, like even a young guy like Tate, don't know what ball he's shooting at, and I'm commentating, and I had to look around and think about what ball I'm commentating on. Man, he played that shot pretty nice. I think I'm not sure if that was a safe, a 2-way, or just going for the bank and got a little unlucky with the shape here.
Right. This is a tough safety.
I'd like to ask him about that shot later.
This is a tough safety.
This is tough. Yeah, I'm hitting this thing super thin, coming around 3 rails. Okay.
Just like that, but
that's about how I was hitting it, the speed and everything. But he hit it too thick, and sometimes when you're trying to get that spin on to create angles and stuff,
the distance and
it
everything,
throws off the thickness of the ball you're hitting. Instead of hitting it super sweet, squirt, deflection right there. Instead of hitting it super, super thin, like I think he was hoping to, he hit it thicker, but luckily the speed was good, so he still created a lot of distance here.
Yeah, and he left ball on the rail. That was a sweet stroke there. He's going to run into the 10.
Ooh,
he got
a
friendly bump there, nice and full.
We're right on the line, too. Looking at the table, we can see he has almost an ideal angle here for being that close.
It's pretty straight, yeah. Where you're not too worried about the double hit, you're still pretty straight. So, got down and struck that really well.
Steve Martyn Hill on the scoreboard.
There you go.
Feels like forever. Down 3-0. Now I'm down 3-1. Now I'm breaking. Now I'm running. Now you sit down. Now you tell me how that ice feels, because I'm about to warm up.
Right.
Let's play some pool.
Let's see how he hits his break, man. Like you were saying, I think this is one of the more tedious breaks in pool, where it's really all about speed and how well you hit the one ball. And you were saying that you like a little angle on your cue ball to pop it, and that promotes a good cue ball. A lot of the times it helps with the squat.
You know what I like even more here right now? Guess what? He's taking his time on his own rack.
Absolutely.
People ask me how to have a good break. They go, well, first things first. Let's start with, how do you rack?
Right.
Do you throw them up there and like this? That's the first thing I want to look at is, how do you rack for yourself? Because guess what? That's probably the majority of your problem. What is the problem here? Here we go. he don't like his rack again. He's going to
Right.
take his time till he likes. He's had time to think about his first break. He's been
Yeah.
he's been sitting here for a couple games now, but when he gets his first break, he is not in a rush, which might result in him giving himself a bad rack, and neither am I. That ain't happening.
Right. So he's really going to take his time trying to tie that one ball to those.
Get the one ball tight.
Yeah.
Get a good break. This is okay, without seeing any sight unseen, just seeing what I've seen so far, I would be willing to bet money Steve Martyn Hill practices his break more than Tom Manena.
Let's see if we can see this one ball rolling off when he pulls it off. Yeah, see, you can see it moving a little bit.
Yeah, it's rolling off. He's trying to get it dead on the spot. I mean, sometimes you got to – these are the best racking tables in the history of the world, by the way. Now, because they had brand new tables at the end of last year. Now we're into next year. I knew it wasn't going to last forever, but okay.
He
did not
popped
hit those square. He
balls.
got the pop. He did
Got
not
the
hit it
pop.
square. Maybe when you got to fight for a good rack for so long, you do lose a little bit of your rhythm, and so he didn't hit it square. But he made a ball. He sees a one. It
Ended up really good, man.
I'm
Cue
thinking
ball in the middle,
packages.
cue
I'm not
ball
thinking
in the
about
middle.
one, but yeah, everything's open. I'm thinking here comes a 6-pack. Look at these abs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking when I break the balls like that. Cue ball sit in center table. I might not have squatted it,
Well,
but it's where I wanted it anyways.
I'll tell you what, Ray. He underhit that one ball a little bit. He wanted to come a little more middle of the table, so he's got a tough cut on the 2. This is going to end up okay. I think he's going to get away with it.
Steve
Or-
Martyn Hill. He's from Antigo, Wisconsin. He's 29. His equipment, he's built his own self-built custom cue. Shaft also self-built, 11/8, carbon fiber. He is wow.
Yeah, and so there,
That's impressive.
I'm not sure if he had the full 2-ball to hit. It looks like he didn't because he played a safety. He played a pretty good safety. You know, it looks like he got him with the 6 and the 2 balls off the rail, so it's not the easiest hit. So he's going to play the jump shot. This might be an attacking jump shot here. He's gonna. If he makes this ball, it's gonna come out thin for that 4-ball. But he ended up hitting it a little thick. So now the question is that 4-ball past the 6? I think it does, but it's a little bit of a block pocket. But you don't have to do much with the 4-ball there to get to the 5. So this is a pretty stop and go first couple balls of this rack for Tom.
I like the combo. He's looking at the combo. I really hate to. I mean, the ball is so close to the hole, and it's not froze to the rail, so it's just fat. It's a fat ball.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. I'd much rather do the combo and try to speed and control my 4. That is the 4, right? That peach.
Yeah, I don't see a purple
Beige
ball out
type
there,
thing.
So yeah.
I'm confusing it.
I think we call that pink, but
So yeah, I'm rather.
he ended
I'd
up
rather
real
try
good.
and speed my 4 than try and get to a perfect hole by barely skimming past that 6.
Yeah, this is touchy though. This is touchy. That 4-ball might be running off of that 6 a little bit. So you
Your
might.
shape is touchy, but the make is
that's what I'm
the make is
saying.
secure.
That's what I'm saying.
If you went for the make the other way, your make is touchy and your shape is secure.
Right. And so now he's got himself kind of in trouble here. Do you play another combo and let the cue ball go? Because it's a real thin cut on the 4-ball. You got to let the cue ball ride.
I don't know what I'm doing here. He's
You can
shooting kind
also
of quick.
Bank the 4-ball away and try to play behind the 5, which he tried to do there.
Yeah, he had a weird angle where nothing was really presenting
Easy,
itself.
Yeah, nothing was easy there. It was on the 50-yard line, which, like you said, he's sitting at Lambeau.
Those are good seats at Lambeau. But guess what? There's no bad seat at Lambeau. I've been to other stadiums, and in comparison, they are trash.
All right, so a real bear down shot. Just make sure you put a good stroke on the ball. And yeah, I think he tried to overdraw that. I would have been okay with. He could have gotten away with just stopping that ball a little bit and taking a cut on the 5. You got to work up table for the 7 anyway, or the 6. No, that's the 8. See?
All right.
So you got to work up table for the 7.
How about right now? Right now, how you hitting this ball?
Well, you just catch this really thin on the 4 ball, a really nice float back to the middle of the table.
Yeah, me too.
You don't want to. You don't
thin
wanna
on the 4. Just don't hook yourself on the 9. How hard is that?
Right. Don't mess with the right side of the table here. And he's even gonna put a little bit of left spin to kind of stray away from that. But he ended up hitting it really thick. So I think we'll probably see a jump shot. These guys are playing pretty aggressive so far. And this 5 ball is makeable with a jump.
Chat room is lighting up. I love it. Thank you, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
You can even do a super chat if you want.
Please do.
All that money is going somewhere good, probably to more expensive equipment here in the
Actually,
booth,
believe it
or
or
the
not.
youth. I know they keep.
Yep.
Yep.
Where it
Hashtag
goes.
Rayla the kids.
Yeah.
I always think of kids first.
yeah.
No.
You know, you got to support your future, and that's where it's at. And so, if you guys do end up sending any super chats, that'll go to our young guns, and you know, we're out here trying to raise some sharks. We are in Appleton, Wisconsin. Torch for you. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for subscribing.
Yeah, let me back up. So Subkiss is in the chat room, he's saying, forget about the balls. He's saying the main thing is moving towards gray tablecloth, and that I think is a brilliant statement, because that is the reason we're playing on blue right now. They were trying to move away from the green.
Get away from the
where
6.
they were more, I think, concerned about the players being able to see the balls and run out better. But now they're taking it even one step further, and not talking about just the players, but the viewers, to be able to see the contrast better. I like that. I think I played on gray cloth only one time, and I didn't notice that it hindered me. I would have, and you know, I would have used it as an excuse for why I lost.
Ooh.
We're the best at that, by the way. Pool players give the wild 7 out to any other sport when it comes to making an excuse for why you lost, why you missed a shot, why something went wrong. Golfers got, you know, a little bit of grass sometimes. Tennis players, they look at the string on the tennis racket.
Yeah.
But what else do they got? Pool players will look you dead in the eye with passion and tell you, you know, oh, the cocktail walked by at the wrong time, or the player on the table before is using the wrong chalk, or like all of it, and it's not me. It doesn't have to be me. People should come and take lessons from us. If you want real excuses on why something went wrong, come hang out in a pool hall and look at our eyes bulge out of our head while we're telling you some reason other than us why we missed, why we lost. And it's a beautiful thing. It's comedy if you really can sit back and enjoy it. But
how about the imaginary piece of dust on the table? You know how many times you see guys do that? They grab something, you know, a little piece of lint off the table that nobody sees but that player.
A hair, an eyelash.
Yeah, whatever.
It cost me. Yep. And now you, because you pick up that imaginary piece of lint eyelash, you've ruined your rhythm.
Yeah.
Oh man, did you see that? There was a crowd behind me, and they were all like saying, "Man, you got to pick up that piece of lint. That's in the line of your cue path. If you don't pick, so okay, I was trying to ignore it. I go pick it up. Next thing you know, I'm out of rhythm, and I undershape my next shot. I got to play a safety.
Yep.
I lose the safety war.
You lose focus.
It's we give the 7 out to any other sport at this. And I do have to give a shout out. I do have to give a shout out to my buddy Tyler Steyer. He just had one of the best ones I've never heard until recently. He said he lost a match, and normally when you lose a match, you just tell your buddy or somebody close to you. Couple theories of why you're not playing your best. Well, Tyler lost in Derby City, even though he was playing great and doing good. He lost out in the 9-ball, and he goes on Facebook and posts, there was a flood in a factory somewhere years ago, and that's why this brand new world-class cloth isn't playing as fast.
And
it's
the
costing us.
Simonis,
Yeah.
And
But he's serious.
if I'm not mistaken, I don't even think he finished that match. He didn't lose the match. He unfortunately forfeited the match.
That's another issue that these are big issues.
Meanwhile, we got Tom running the balls really nicely here. That was a good.
Let's
8
stick to
ball.
one. Yeah, I'll say the one is just excuses for losing, and I and my friends, we are the king of it. Chat room, do me a favor. Please, please, please put in the chat room an excuse for losing that I've never heard of, because I need more excuses. I've run out, and I did do quite a bit of losing today. I got knocked out of this Sunday Fun Day tournament right away, and that's why I'm in here commentating with y'all. Usually I'm playing, running out, having fun. Dang, you got it perfect.
Well, you know what? Did you see that? We'll put a little replay there, but that cue ball hit the spot and kind of drifted away from the 10 there at the tail end of the
making it
of the roll.
Better.
Yeah, he could have ended up married. And then
well, there you go.
Touching, so
there you go. Now
we'll watch that after we watch this stroke.
Make or miss. Whoever wins this game or loses, whoever loses this game is going to say, "Man, did you see that? It hit the spot and rolled off a hair.
Yeah,
it should." And we're dead serious. That's driving home my point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of how great we are at. I mean, if you wanted to straw man it, you could say not taking responsibility or not having accountability or integrity of our own when we fall short. Or you could say, well, we're just that damn precise. We're scientific about it. Well,
watch this.
Okay, we got the replay here.
The 9-ball. He hits it really well, right? He puts a little bit of inside to bring it back, but watch it at the end. See how it drifts off a little bit?
The spot.
That spot got him a little
friendly.
bit. Yeah.
Friendly.
And he ended up making he ended up drilling the 10 ball there. So we'll watch this next break coming up.
4-1 Tom Manena.
Oh, he went straight inside.
Here's a question Tom answered, filled out. Have you ever taken lessons from pool? No. Learned a lot about safeties from Bob Anderson during the first year I shot in league. And after that, a lot of books, self-experiments. I did do a Tyler Skyer boot camp once. Okay, so that's a yes then. That even if it's
not a personal level.
Yeah,
or
personal
lesson.
one-on-one lesson, then it can be a group lesson, and that's a yes. I'm a big advocate of lessons. And I know everyone, again, Tyler's my buddy, and everyone I know who's taken his lessons love them. I bought my dad a lesson. Wow. 10 ball.
Yeah.
Quick rack.
Unfortunate scratch there. Like you said, I feel like he's not getting quite the pop. He drew off that 1 ball and went straight in the side pocket. And if you were looking at it, he kind of did sell out that 310 right off the bat. So that's unfortunate. And
Steve Martyn Hill, have you ever taken lessons? No, 0 paid lessons, but I consider every time on the table a lesson.
Yeah, absolutely, especially if you pay attention to it,
Who's his favorite player? Efren Reyes.
Efren the Magician.
If you could compete at a high level at any other sport, Steve Martyn Hill says it would be ping pong.
Oh, okay, a little bit of table tennis.
As he's fighting for the rack over here. I love it. Get yourself a good rack, please.
Yeah, he's making sure those are nice and tight before he hits them. And I believe that's going to be 2-4, so hopefully they change the score for us.
Steve Martyn Hill, do you have a favorite song or type of music?
There it goes.
Helps you play well and focus. Yes, rock. What's your favorite pool movie? Pool Hall Junkies. What's your favorite win in competition? The 2021-2022 Whammo team event. He's a Whammo state champion. Those feel good. Team wins. Individual wins are great, but the most fun I've ever had in pool is when I'm a part of a team that comes together and makes it happen.
Old man Ferguson, thank you for the chat. Yeah, Tyler did forfeit his match. He was down like hill 2 or 3. Albin was on the hill, and Tyler missed he missed a straight 2 ball, rattled it, left it right in the pocket, and the rest of the table was open for Albin. And Tyler's he forfeited because he said his eye was bothering him. So due to medical, he let it go. And so if you haven't watched that and you have access to DAZN where it's streamed, or maybe it'll be on one of the replays or the highlights. Unfortunately, yeah, I feel like he kind of just let it go at the end there, whether it be his eye or, like we were saying earlier, we're very passionate about not putting the blame on ourselves all the time. And
we're the best. We're the best. Subkiss says, excuse he likes is we say a demon did it. And to prove this, we put statues and gargoyles all around the pool table and use them as jokes when we mess up.
Yeah, Subkiss. You're probably right. Pretty spot on. And so, let's see where we're at in this match.
Mike
Ray.
Lemire says, LOL, Ray. Sounds like Robbie. I was probably in a little rant about why we were missing. Why. But, yeah, Robbie's great. Robbie is a master at that. Robbie's a great player, period. But when he's not playing at his best or when he loses, just ask him what happened. After the match, walk up to Robbie Schmidt and say what happened, and then silence. Sit back and enjoy the show. Get your popcorn ready because he is going to have – you could write a movie script. There's going to be ups and downs and romance and
tragedy and all the
jet
good stuff.
Engine cars and there's going to the full all the seasons, spring, winter, he'll have it all. He's up there. He's up there, and he's not the best that I've seen. But he is a contender.
Straight in on the 5. Come out for the 6. Good shot there.
Yep. Now we got to hit a good shot here.
This is the stroke, right?
How you hitting this? Just straight low?
Straight low, and you know what? I don't even mind coming between the 7-8.
Yeah, you can go either side. Looks like he's almost queuing up high.
Yeah, he is.
I don't like that.
This is going to be a big stroke.
Oh, wow. He got almost dead perfect. So it hopped. It hit the rail and had an actual – it was airborne when it hit the rail and came down off the rail, and that's what made it come out so flat like that. I think that's incredibly hard to actually play shape for, something like that. That's why I wouldn't recommend that. But, damn it, it worked out. So I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
With that much topspin, you climb up that ball, and then, like you say, you kind of landed on the rail, which flattened it out, killed it a little bit. I think he was trying to get under the 8, but this is going to work out really well for him. And this is a stroke test here, Are you going to put a bunch of inside or carry it around 2 rails?
I'm putting some inside on it.
Well, he decided to go 2 rails. Super friendly bump on the 9 there. It's going to promote a pretty easy 10 ball. He can even go straight through this and play the 10 in the top left. He got there. This is a little bit thin of a cut, but it's definitely makeable. One of those where you just got to really hit the center ball and get through the cue ball good. You know, you don't want to let up on this one. Yeah. Watch out the stretch. Yeah, and that's the one thing with getting through that cue ball is it kind of bites if you hit a little top. The top doesn't take until after you bounce off that rail, which kind of arcs the cue ball and towards that bottom right. So definitely stroked it good, but that little bit of top brought him to that bottom right pocket, which is unfortunate. There you go. That's an easy win for Tom. Kind of gave that one away, making it 5-2.
And there's a little ode to the Mad Apple, just to what's traditional here. Especially on the stream, we don't give up balls. Please don't do it if you make the stream. And so what happened there was, he literally spotted up the 10 ball, took ball in hand, and shot the 10 ball. That's I love it. I mean, if we don't have many rules, but that's like kind of the one thing that I know in some matches at least they've actually asked the players to on the stream
not concede.
Don't concede games. Yeah. And so I don't know if they said that this match to them, but that's I tip my cap to that. I appreciate. I'm a poker dealer, so I appreciate when even if you don't agree with the rule, you play by the rules.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, you know, anything can happen. So just letting it ride out. You know, you're out of control already. Don't let it slip. Don't let it go just because you hit a bad shot. You know, let the player earn his games. All right, that was a good break. It was a successful break. Cue ball is actually in a pretty good spot. Does this one ball pass the 6, Ray? I'm thinking it does.
Looks like it passes easy to me.
The only thing is that cue ball is running in the 8, and you're kind of flirting with that side pocket a little bit. And so, if you're gonna attack this one ball, you might want to put, you know, and that 3 ball's not easy to get to because of where that 8 ball is as well. So, I'm not sure if he
tried to
played
roll it in.
Yeah, I think he tried to cut that in, and that was a big scratch where you're running dead into the face of the 6, kind of leaving tough on the 3 anyway.
So Rick Poole has a good excuse. He didn't chalk enough. Rick Poole's an old schooler. And so there's just a classic tried and true. I just didn't chalk enough.
We got old man Ferguson. When I miss my, I blame myself for not having a carbon fiber. Well, yeah, you know, those carbon fibers work good, but I don't think they're magic. So that's a good one, though. That's a good one. I'll definitely have to put that one in my pocketbook as well, because I don't play with a carbon fiber.
This is somebody asked if I deal at Ho Chunk. Nope, I deal at my tribe's casino. Oneida. I'm a poker dealer. I dealt in Vegas too for many years. So I pretty much, I'm a pool player first off and foremost. But other than that, I have received some income as a dealer and a bartender.
That was a great one ball. He came
Vegas,
off the 7-10 to get real good shape on the 3. You just got to make sure you get under the 7 to come around to the middle of through the 9-10 to get to the 5.
That's not easy to do.
Yeah,
you have to hit this with a ton, middle to low speed with a ton of inside, which throws off your accuracy big time. And guess what? This cue ball does what this cue ball wants to do. You can put a ton of inside on this, and that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to catch on the rail and do what you want it to do. I think this is a hard shot, real hard.
Yeah, and he ended up hooking himself. So you're very much right on that one. Probably want to put a little more inside to drag it, which makes a shot a little harder. But We'll see how he gets out of this. You know, there's an opportunity for a decent kick safe if he can kind of kill the cue ball off that top rail into the 4, leave the cue ball where it's at, and then play the 4 down table. Yeah, just like that. He unfortunately hit the 9.
9 won't
He
go.
made the 9, so that's going to be the option to Steve.
It pays to hit him. Oh, wait, yeah, so we're playing 10 ball.
Playing 10 ball, right?
When you poop a ball in, that means that your opponent has the option. So they can take the shot where it lays, or if you're hooked, then they can make you shoot again. Unless you called it, which obviously you didn't. Steve is at the table.
Yeah, and he's got a pretty straightforward 4 ball. You just want to make sure you catch this side rail to the 5 ball before the side pocket. Should be okay. Put a good stroke on it. You should be able to get there pretty easily, just like that. Yeah,
I like the way he hit that ball. I like the way Steve's playing right now, and I'll notice his body language is better. He's standing up straight with his shoulders back. He's taking on whatever may come in this world. It's you can just see it. At first, he was a little slumped, a little something not right. I can't really put my finger on it, but he has earbuds in now.
Right, yeah.
It's easier to focus.
It's nervy. He settled his nerves here. He's still down, but it's looking like he's catching a rhythm here. He's catching a gear to get himself back in the match.
This is the Steve Martyn Hill I know. This guy is a problem. This one you got to come around 4 rails. You got to hit this thin
or kill it. You're
gonna kill this cue ball?
Well, it caught the point there. I mean, he could have killed it and played the other side of the 8 up table. He got pretty fortunate there, but that 4 rail is hard to let the cue ball go sometimes. You know, you don't. It's harder to pinpoint your accuracy as far as your next shot when you let it go 4 rails. I do agree with you on that.
It looks so pretty though.
It is pretty, man.
Just you got when it's there, it's like, okay, I gotta cut this ball in. Don't want to slow roll, try and hold it, and it's a for sure sellout if I miss. Well, he didn't miss. He got something, but if you make that first,
Watch outside pot.
Okay,
he caught it. He got it.
And guess where he is? Guess where he's sitting at Lambeau?
But he's probably got pretty good seats, man.
He's
at Lambeau.
He gets to see the ball go both ways. He ain't never stuck in the other end zone. He's looking at the 50-yard line right here. Yep. And so he's actually measuring out which side of this ball is a little bit easier to cut, because when you have your cue ball and your object ball pointed directly at the diamond, that's when you know you messed up.
You're probably sitting on the 50 there, right there. And which way do you prefer to play this one?
I mean, I'm doing what he just did actually right there. I'm literally putting my cue over the line and saying which one is 51 degrees and which one's 49.
Right.
And I'm taking the one that gives me a little bit more of an advantage, and I'm speeding my cue ball to stay down on this rail. He hit that one like a dream.
Yeah, look at where that cue ball ended up as well. You know, dead on the.
Yep. Speed the cue ball to the rail, so there's creating distance no matter what, and he swished the ball, so it didn't matter.
As long as you hit that with good speed and you don't hang it up, even if you miss it, it's going to end up pretty good, pretty favorable.
Oh, man. Chat board. Mike B has a freaking awesome excuse to lose. So he said he was on a team match. One player on our team had a dream that he would have a car accident, so he refused to come and play the tournament that day.
That's a little bit of a future deja vu. He's saying he's seeing the future a little bit there and doesn't want to even risk it.
Like that movie Final Destination.
Yeah.
He's trying to dodge the death that he already foresaw. So he's taking God into his own hands and saying, "Nope, I'm not going to play a pool today. I'm not going to leave the house. If a car's going to hit me, it's going to come flying through my window and hit me in my bed."
Right through the living room, huh?
Yeah. Which that can happen too. I mean, come on, man. Come on, Mike B's teammate.
Hopefully,
get out of bed.
Hopefully, you never have that dream. That would be a terrible dream. But that was a dry break there from Tom. He's going to give up a table.
I've heard I have to drive through a school zone in the morning.
Yeah.
So I need 15 hours of sleep right now.
I'll be there. I'll be there late.
Cal in the chat room says, cigarette smoke in my eye.
Yeah.
Torture you. Said he had a guy tell him he missed because somebody in his view lit a cigarette. Somebody in the background. Okay.
That's another server, and or like when you're playing, and then that was an unfortunate bounce off the 2 to find the top right corner off the 8. Pretty good jump, but just kind of let the cue ball get away from him there. But yeah, that's another one of those instances where you might say like a server walked into your path, or a server asked if you wanted anything while you're down on a shot, and the guy behind me was shaking the ketchup bottle for his hot dog, and
we're the best, man. We really are. If it was any other sport, you would not take any of these excuses seriously. But we know it. We know that it's actually true. It's not just we're not seeing ghosts. Sometimes we are. Maybe Robbie Schmidt is, but but we know the difference between when we're playing good and when we're not.
Right.
And it's not always our fault.
Well, you know what? I think that has a lot to do with the mental strength and endurance of the game. It requires a lot of that, where we don't play. Imagine the guys in the Philippines. They probably think it's ridiculous, because in the Philippines they say chickens run around the table when you're playing outside. So, and the Filipinos come out and just dominate, because I feel like one reason their equipment isn't as sound, and they have tougher conditions to learn the game in. So you come out here, it's like playing in a quiet room compared to where they grew up playing. So you can make any excuse in the book, but I think it has a lot more to do with your mental, how you are handling the match mentally. And you can make any excuse you want in the book, but what happens on the table happens on the table. And when you're at the table, you can control it. When you're not at the table, you can't. That's what it comes down to. Just like we got Tom running the balls. He plays a pretty good 3-rail shot there. He's going to have a little bit of a thin cut on the 6. Probably playing from Lambeau, right?
Guess what lines up with this
right at the
cue ball, the
baby.
6. It's right at the diamond, right?
Straight bank it back, just blast it.
And he's a little far out too, where scratch angles come into play.
Mm-hmm. Just blast it. In the
luckily,
top right.
The best thing you got going for you here is the 7 ball is hanging.
Mm-hmm.
7 to the 8 is weird, but don't worry about that now. Worry about the first thing first. Do the math. What's most important? Making this ball.
Yeah, so he's going to play it in our bottom left here. So, like you said, we're going to watch the scratch. He might even play this with low inside, run it 3 rails around the table, back to the middle. That's exactly what
he did.
I like that. And he hit it beautiful. He's got an angle to come into the 8-10 if he wants to as well.
Is that what you're doing? Not me. I'm hitting this. I'm hitting this with low, like a drag low, and I'm coming around perfect shape for the 8 ball.
Does
Short
it pass
side.
the 9?
Yep.
Then yeah, that I like that as well.
Not easy though.
Heavy outside. You got to put a lot of spin.
I'm doing straight up low, but a lot of it, and you want it because this cue ball is heavy. You have to put a little bit extra.
Yeah.
He went with a spin. He tried it with a spin, like you were saying, and it wasn't enough. But not a lot bad's going to happen there. This is okay.
Yeah,
it's not great, but my way, if you mess it up my way, it could actually be worse.
It goes all the way around the table because you put too much into the cue ball.
Yep.
It's hard to hold that ball with that much distance when you're hitting a drag shot. And so, really,
it was like just a little bit more draw than a drag, I think. But now I could lose all my draw before it even gets there, and I got even a worse shot.
Right. And if you lose all your bottom, if you're putting any outside, you can end up overcutting that 7.
So right here, he has a ton of safety options. That's what I'm thinking. Because
split the balls up.
Wardrobe malfunction. You can, you can create distance and you got 2 blockers there, 2 big blockers. Or you can just fire this ball in the hole.
Right.
Cut it, come across for the 9 short side. He's calling the bank.
So this is going to be a two-way shot if he's calling
boy.
that bank. And with that speed that you need to make it, it could get away from you. So unless he... Ooh, wow, he hit that pretty sweet, huh? Let's put a replay on that one. We'll watch that one at the end of the rack.
That was a tough shot. That was nice. Okay, now I'm definitely playing the safe here. He's going to kind of play the same kind of safe where it's a two-way. Call to make it.
Overhit it. When you're playing those safeties, like towards the cross corners, you've got to be real touchy with your speed. You know, it's one of those where if you get the snooker, the hook, then it's kind of a bonus. But you want to put those balls on the end rails so they're not easy to make. Watch outside. Wow, that's unfortunate. That's another late scratch for Steve, and that's going to give Mr. Tom here a pretty straight in 10 ball. Pretty straight. So a couple late mistakes for Steve.
Ball in hand on the 10.
Yeah, a couple.
That's my favorite shot.
Yep. I don't like those, man. I usually miss them. But late mistakes for Steve here is really going to cost him a close match. You know, I think if you take 2 games away from Tom and give them to Steve, it's pretty much neck and neck, whereas the score line says otherwise.
So Torture You was talking about your Philippines reference. He said he was at a tournament in Manila. They would chalk ball marks while you were shooting. Took a bit to get used to. Yeah, I've seen that on film. It is really odd. Big crowds already close to you, and then there's one guy literally putting chalk marks on the table while you're trying to run out. And, we got somebody just saying hi to the chat.
Yeah,
saying hi to the booth.
Peep on in
Showing
here.
some love. Yeah, let's hit this soundboard. Where's
I don't know how to work the
Johnny
soundboard
Fields?
quite yet, man. I don't know which buttons are the preset, so probably should have asked Patrick about that before he got out of here. But here's our soundboard right here.
Let's try to hit one. Is there a 1, 2, 3, 4? I think there's only 4 options. If you see a 1, 2, 3, 4, hit the number 1, which should be every ball is a rail.
Let's look at it.
Ooh, hold on. We got a little controversy here. There's some discussion. Okay, no, we're good. We're good.
Let's see. Let's try it number 1. Let's see what happens.
This is Mad Apple Extreme, live from the Mad.
Hey,
That's going to be our intro.
Welcome to the King of the Hill. This is Mad Apple Extreme,
Wow, these
live
are
from the
newer
Mad Apple
ones. I haven't
Burger and
heard
Billiard
these.
Company in Appleton, Wisconsin. Get ready for the extreme in pool entertainment.
See, I thought they just hired that voiceover guy to do my line. I didn't know he was like...
So that was number 1. I wonder which one is the... I bet you they're probably a little later.
They might have changed them up, yeah. From last time I was here in the booth, it's been a minute, but there was one from me, one from Johnny Fields, one from Taylor, and a 4th.
All right. So are you breaking up the 7-ball 10? Were you trying to right there? Because that's going to be... Does that 7-ball go in the top?
Yeah, 7 goes.
In that top left?
You don't... There's no need to break that.
Yeah, and the 6-ball leads to it pretty well, as long as you get good on the 6. So this is a big shot. So...
Just roll this in.
Yeah, he ended up pretty good. This is a touchy shot. You don't want the cue ball to get away from you. You end up real thin on the 7. Comes a little harder, you know. And the 8-ball's hanging, so no matter where you leave it, you just want to make sure you got a good look at the 7, knowing that you're going to get shape on the 8. He might play this. Yeah, he really killed it pretty well. That was a great stroke there. Man, I should have asked Patrick about the soundboard a little bit before he left, but one thing we can definitely
It's all right. That was a treat.
mess around with.
Got to hear.
It sounded like we were going into an epic, like.
Yeah, we got all those donations. We're paying this sound voiceover guy to come and make something sound epic. And all I ever heard him say so far was every ball is a rail. And it was already epic before he even said it. And now it's even more. It's even more.
That's going to be one of my life lessons, that every ball is a rail, because before I got here, I didn't play a whole lot of 8-ball, and I'm just seeing lots of caroms and combos and different kind of, shots. Wow, what a stroke. Look at that. He's pretty straight to end up where he did, so he hit that real sweet.
I love the way he ran them balls out, especially that 9-ball. He needs to, but he's in a spot right now where, again, body language and the last couple shots, looks like he's about to put a package down. Just avoid that little scratch at the end of the game, and this match is pretty dang close. Might even be 4-4 or 5-5, but that's right. I did the math.
His
10 games.
He is settling down a little bit, yeah. And he did make those two scratches at the end of the games, so it would be 7-5, I think, without those two scratches on the 10 or late in the rack. See how he hits his break, though, because if we're going to put packs together, he's got to get his break dialed in.
Love it.
Yeah, wow.
Love it.
This is going to be the hardest shot of the rack here. If he can get good on the 4-ball.
Got a pop on the cue. 1 ball's near the hole. Cue ball ended up near the center of the table. And he made 3 balls. So he ended up getting pretty unlucky that the furthest ball, 2 balls from each other, are the one and the next low ball, which is what is that again? That's pink.
Yeah, I think that's the 16.
Don't even know what it is. Yeah,
it's the 16. He's gonna play safety here. Lock him up on the 8. He ended up hitting that 1 ball real good too to get under that.
Yeah, get down, control, just control. You don't need to run out. Packages are nice. But you got a little unlucky. He hit that 1 nice, yeah.
Real nice, yeah. He almost got too much out of it, huh?
Got a pretty good safe. He's, I think, going to leave a jump here. Mm-hmm. But this is a jump to nowhere. What are you going to do, cut this in?
Well, yeah, I mean.
I don't like Fedor to cut this in.
As far as the jump, no. But you can kick this ball in.
Kick the ball in?
I might even consider playing the kick versus the jump. I mean, I feel like it's just a little safer.
To me, there's almost nothing good could happen there. This is about the best result with the kick or the jump, because look at every other ball is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diamonds away.
Right.
So you have to jump, get up fairly quickly, and hit the 4 ball that's near frozen to the rail, and then somehow create distance or find blockers. Good luck.
Jump is tough.
That was a great safety. Yeah.
Yeah, the kick was. I think the kicker was a higher percentage, but not much higher. That was a tough escape. So he did end up playing that safety pretty good.
Here's a shot. There's a little stun forward shot. You're gonna bump into the 7 with a fair amount of speed to just come through. Oop, missed it, but
he caught it on the backside. Oh, and look at that.
That's no good.
Look at the 10 ball. That 10 ball kind of rolled up onto the spot again. We'll watch that replay.
I'm looking at what kind of safety you play here now. I mean, you have a lot of blockers in the middle of the table. You got, man.
What do you?
That's.
Yeah, unfortunately, that wasn't the best effort we've seen. That's gonna sell out pretty hard. Where do you like the 7? Do you like the 7 on the side? I mean, that's obviously the easiest pass.
This is.
Connect the dots.
I was gonna say it's not even worth asking me how I like to run out here. This is Abe. Stevie Wonder could get out from here.
Yeah. Helen Keller out.
Yeah, I mean, that is a game losing safety. Sorry, Steve Hill. You're gonna watch this game back, and you are not gonna be happy with the way you hit that ball because you had blockers. You didn't create distance. You didn't have blockers. You put the low ball, the 6, right in front of the hole.
This is a good opportunity for Tom to really pile it on.
If he told me he miscued on that, it would make sense. Like I'm trying to make sense of it.
Right.
I really can't.
Yep, and that's a good shot. Don't underhit this one. You want to end up on the top side of the 10 unless you're playing it in the side. I think a lot of rotation players are going to play this in the corner, so let their stroke out a little bit. He's going to run into it.
Oh,
It's a friendly bump. That's a friendly bump. He's still got
Got
it
away
straight
with
in the
it.
side. Yeah, it could have ended up Brad, huh?
well, this ain't great, but yeah, that could end up a lot worse.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got an opportunity. So
Steve needs a roll here. When you're down 8-3, and I think he's playing pretty good. He hit one bad shot there on the. Dang,
that was a great shot.
he did not get a roll this game. But to me, Steve looks like he's.
Watch this 10 ball here. He's gonna hit it, and it's gonna kind of nudge over. See, at the end of that, and it just nudges over a little bit. We might need to do a little work to the spot there. But either way, we got.
To me, it's negligible. Like, whether you get a little bit of a favorable roll or a little bit of an unfavorable roll
Doesn't
on the
change
spot, it affects both players equally.
Yeah.
And the actual effect itself. First off, it has to be slow rolling when it touches that spot for it to even be noticeable at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Especially the earlier one where it literally lined up the shot, and had it not had that little bit of going offline because of the spot, then it would have been a lot harder shot on the 10 ball. That one was really interesting, but
that last one probably didn't make too much of a difference, huh? Look at this jump.
he's elevated super high here.
Yeah, he's almost vertical.
I think he's too high.
Right. When you're too high, you kind of slip off the end of the cue ball like you did, you know? You still want to make sure you're almost laying the whole tip on the cue ball. Whereas if you're hitting it just with the edge of the tip of the cue, it tends to slip off of that, and you don't get quite the punch that you're looking for, you know? So that's going to give up ball in hand straight back to Tom.
2, 3, 4, 5 to the 6 is interesting a little bit. I'm just trying to get center table. Whenever you shoot this 5 ball, just leave the cue ball in the center of the table.
Right.
That's more than good enough. Or you could try and get perfect and get closer. But when I have a run out like this, I'm thinking, okay, what's my earliest problem possible?
Right.
And that is 5 to the 6. And then always try to remind yourself, is dead center of the table doable? And it almost always is.
Yeah, especially in rotation. You're absolutely right.
So it's easy. It should be easy to get to the center of the table because we're trying to play shape for that almost every shot anyways. If you played shape for dead center of the table every single shot, every single game, you could still run packages. And I didn't know that.
That's a tough miss.
Okay. Overlooked the man. I mean, if he makes that ball, what's up with that speed though?
Yeah, he ended up real thin on the floor. It was hard to get control of the cue ball. This is a big stroke for Steve.
I like the way he hit it, rattled it. That happens.
He hit it good, but it's just one of those things where I feel like he's kind of lost his rhythm again. You know, he kind of got it back for those 3 games that he won. He's playing pretty good, but it looks like Tom's starting to take control of the match.
Didn't leave much. This is no picnic.
There's a good safety here. Yeah. See, I like that safety. Even if you don't clip that 5 and hit the 4 ball a little thinner, you can play
What do you like now?
end rail to end rail. Well, you can clip the 4 ball.
He's firing at this bank. He's called it.
If he makes this, it's a great shot. A little bit low percentage. Did he get away with it? I think he did. You can't make that 4 ball. You can't back cut it. You can't cut it into the top left corner because that's a scratch. So we might see another safety. This is pretty easy safety though. You just baby off the 4 just like this. He underhit that a little bit. He left the edge of the 4 ball, but I'm not sure it's makeable. Watch the side pocket. Probably running into the 8 if you missed a scratch. And because of that, he's going to kick at it. Okay, he ended up in good seats here.
Lambo.
Yeah, and this is rotation's kind of a more aggressive game, so I still think I like the offense here. I actually don't even mind playing to the bottom left with a bunch. He might fire this bank in too. Oh, he played it safe behind the 9. This is really good touch. That's a beautiful shot. He's gonna make Steve come back to the table and kick in. And that 4 ball's off the end rail, so it's not an easy 2 railer, and it's not an easy 1 railer because if you don't hit the 1 railer good, there's no separation. But he's going to hit the 1 railer, try to make it. He clipped it.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
I think he's hooked. Yeah. He's been watching the pros play. That was a touch kick safe.
Yeah, that's a really hard kick to come 2 rails and clip the 4 ball like that. A lot of the times if you end up hitting the bottom side of the 4, you end up scratching, you know. But he played it so soft and at such a good pace that it really allowed the cue ball to roll through that 4 ball contact and get behind the 5. Did he leave an edge here? Do you think you can see the edge? I don't think so.
You can't do nothing with that edge anyways. You're right. Even if you had an edge, you're kicking. I don't hate the 2 rail kick because then it brings both balls back into a lot of traffic. He's going 1 rail.
Oh, but he hit it
and hits it like a dream. 2-way. Wow. Calls the 4 on the side, barely misses that. Holds the cue ball behind the 10, but ready to shoot the 5 if the 4 did go in. That was world class.
Yeah, that's going to earn him a good look at the table. He definitely deserved that look at the table. Didn't leave an easy kick. You know, that was probably the harder kick than we've seen anybody else shoot in this rack. So it was a wonderful touch there to really kill the cue ball off the floor. Sometimes when you hit that, cue ball wants to leak out past the 10.
Going to play this window.
Yeah,
he's window shopping between the 7-10.
Window seat on the airplane, you know.
Yeah, that's what I would do too.
Draw it straight back. You got to watch out, man. This is touchy. You can underhit this and overhit this. He didn't. He hit it real good, so he's showing some good control of the cue ball. You know,
play this with some high right and just come up, miss the 10.
Right between them. You can also go around the 6. That's going to require a little bit more of a force stroke.
Yeah, actually, I think you're right. I think a pro probably would go around, because then you're not. What I was thinking was just put high right and go to the right of the 10, which gives you a pretty skinny line to get.
He's gonna end up right on the 7 here.
That's where we need the Taylor Collar soundbite right now. He had something in mind, and that was not it.
Right there, you go. That's a good one. Yeah, this is a tough spot, too. This is not an easy kick. I feel like you really don't even have an option to get safe. You're just trying to worry about getting the hit here. Yeah, I don't think you can see it 2 rails past the 10. I don't think you can see it 1 rail down the table between the 8 and 9 unless you're spinning it into the 6, which is really touchy because you got to hit it pretty.
That's the shot I'm actually taking, too. I'm
Pretty
shooting this
forceful.
hard, 1 rail,
Mm-hmm.
past the 7-9, and I'm hitting this about 90% of my power. He's
Letting
coming
it
the other
fly.
way. Yep, I'm letting it fly. Because not much good can happen because the 6 is out in an island kind of by itself. This ain't bad.
No, he definitely did not sell out here.
He
There's obviously safety, but you're definitely taking that.
This is why it pays to hit him. He definitely wasn't going for this safety. He wasn't going to line up the 8-9 and leave it back on the 6. But he hit him. Bumped the 9. 9 muddies the 8. And, I mean, it's really undervalued on just getting the hit. And so when you're the opponent, you're like, oh, you got lucky. You weren't trying to. Well, yeah, I did get kind of lucky, but I'm kicking the ball. Remember, I'm kicking the ball. So we've all gotten really lucky on just kicking the ball and getting a hit.
Right.
And something like this happens. Now you got a lot of work to do.
Absolutely. And it's kind of interesting what happened to the 8-9 there. Now you got to get short side from the 7 to the 8 unless you want to play a fairly tricky combo between the 8-9. Maybe not hard to make it, but it's hard to get shape if you're not dead straight in on the 8 ball, on the 8-9 combo.
He's cutting the 6 now, which is going to blast the 9 out of there.
Yeah, he'll hit the 9 here.
You got to make this 6. Prioritize.
He missed the 9, though. He missed the 9.
Luckily, wow.
And now the cue ball is kind of run into a weird spot, right between the rail and the 7 there as you're cutting the 6 in. You might clip the 7 and push it to the top left, which is actually a pretty good option. You just want to be careful of hooking yourself with the 10 if you do that.
Well, he bumped the 8, so the 8's off the rail a little bit more now, which makes it, I'd say, a little bit easier in both ways to play the combo and to get short side.
Uh-oh.
But, this is looking pretty good, actually. This is straight in.
Oh, it goes
In the
by
corner,
9.
and it leads, can't miss shape rolling into the 8-9 combo.
Yeah.
So this is almost a dream, yeah.
Just bury the 7. You should be good on the 8. Don't over top spin it and get close to the 8. You just want to make sure you make the 7.
I don't know what he was doing there.
It looked like he was playing
he
it
had elevation on
two-way.
his cue,
Yeah,
which means he was trying to draw it. I guess that I think he was trying to stick behind the 10 and bump the 8 or 9 with the 7, and so basically play it safe and open up the 8-9.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. Ooh. Yeah, it's another tough stroke. I feel like when Steve gets to the table, he's not seeing too many easy layouts, and Tom's kind of getting the best of the rolls right now.
Oh,
Right.
no.
Is he going to work the cue ball here? 3 rails? No, 1 rail. Watch out, Tim Ball.
Tim Clark in the chat room. He said Steve Hill is a lot better than he's playing today. I don't know, but if you remember when they played me at ACS, he had 3 table runs against my team. I do remember. Try to block those memories out. But unfortunately, I do remember that one.
Yeah, Steve's having a tough time getting started. I mean, it's getting kind of lopsided here, and he's got a long way to climb back. And all I can say is he needs to catch a gear if he's going to get back in this match. And he takes just a nice roll shot there, leaves the cue ball pretty open. Little distance here, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. Tom's going to bear down and see what he can do to pot this 10 ball. He hit it great. Caught the outside point there and just let it trickle in. Didn't try to do too much. And that's going to make it 10-3 for Tom. You know, Tom's really taken advantage of most of the opportunities he's had. You don't really see him getting out of line too often when he's got a decent run out at the end of the rack. Tim was saying you guys still beat us.
Oh, did we? I don't. You know what? Thank you for that memory, because I did forget about that one. You know how you always. It's like the beginning of rounders. Everybody remembers with impeccable precision their worst beats.
And so we got a dry break here from Tom. Is going to let Steve come back to the table here. Yeah, I think Tim had a little typo there. He said beat you like a chump, but like I think you meant champ there, right, Tim?
Oh boy. I'm going to grab my water.
All right, that's a nice roll there from Steve. We'll see if he can't get something going here. You're going to have to draw off this 2-ball. So this is a pure stroke. That's a pure stroke right there. That's a good stroke right there. If he's going to make any type of run, this is going to be his chance. Does he have enough angle to get on the 410, or are you going to play short side? Because there's really nothing. Yeah, he did plenty. So I see a 410 combo here. It's not necessarily wired, and you got to be careful of that side pocket or that top right corner pocket. I think he's going to play a little roll through here and catch the top rail before he gets there. This is not wired. He hit it with some pace, too, and that's so the 10 ball doesn't hang in that left pocket, but he actually might have given up a carom here off the 4 to the 10 in the top right. That's what he's lining up here. This is a nice double shot, too. You can play the 4 ball possibly off the 9 or squeak it by the 9 and get some separation here if you do end up flying at the 10 ball.
Tell you what, those lights are bright. You're right. They fixed those up, because I just saw Steve and Tom pass each other on the inning change there, and I was looking at the table and I thought I saw 3 cue balls.
Yeah.
These guys shave their head.
I know. Yeah, you got.
They're using Bics. It's funny. My brother shaves his head too.
If you're a little careless, you know, you might end up catching a little glimpse off the head and onto the table and starting a fire.
Man.
Catch a little beam. So got to be careful of that. Those lights are bright, Kendall. Nice job. Oh.
Man, I like the way he jumps. I mean, I know. I think it was a good hit, but I don't know.
I think it was a good hit too. Just how the cue ball reacted.
And also, well, there you go. The other thing is, if you don't know, guess what?
It's up to your opponent, right? Well, I mean, it's always up to your opponent, but if you don't know, it's hard to say that it's not a foul if he's calling.
That's the point I was trying to make. If you don't know,
you
don't say, "Well, I think it was a foul. I'll just take ball in hand." No, you err towards not excessively changing the game with a ball in hand. It's usually an ending game scenario. But again, if you and your opponent agree that you think it was a foul, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, and you know, I think at this level it's not too much of a debate, because one shot isn't going to determine the outcome of the whole match, whereas nobody's putting packs on each other, and I think the pool gods usually level out the playing field themselves pretty well anyway. So even if you do make a bad call, a lot of the times you see a little bit questionable call later in the match anyway. But this is going to work out for Steve. He's got a nice clean run here, and he's going to pull himself up to 4. Still got quite the hole to dig out.
Steve Hill, baby.
But his stroke looked good for the rest of that rack. It was pretty straightforward. hopefully that settles him into the match a little bit more, and he's can make a little bit of a late run here to make it a match. When I'm this far down, I usually like to take it 2 racks at a time. I would say, all right, I'm down 10-4. If I look at 10-6, then you kind of change your game plan from there. You know, you get another 2 games, you got 10-8, then you're right back in it, you know.
10-4, good buddy.
10-4. So we'll see how Steve hits this break. He's been popping them pretty good. See if he can get a good roll here and squat the cue ball.
Trust me, I mean, he hasn't finished the games he's wanted, but I'm telling you, the first half of this match, I did not like Steve Hill's body language. His shoulders were slumped, but he's playing much better now, even though the results aren't there. This is the guy. This is the guy I want on my team. This guy right here. You don't have to win all the games. You might not win any games, but you're not giving anything away.
You're out there playing with confidence at this point, at least.
Yeah.
At least, you know, which is really sometimes all it takes to get back in the match. You play with a little confidence, your opponent might feel that, you know, subconsciously, and let you back in the match, and you kind of that's when you start to fight your way back in. That's a great shot right there. Good touch, played perfectly into the hole for the 3 ball.
I can see it. It's coming.
Yeah.
He may have dug a hole too big, but he's ready to play.
Yeah.
When this match is over, I'll bet you he'll be looking around. Who wants to gamble? Come get some.
Yeah. And like you say, it might be a big hole, but I think that last rack really settled his stroke. You know, he's going to start stroking the ball. And honestly, when you're down, obviously you start freewheeling a little bit as well and letting your stroke out. You loosen up a little bit. You got nothing to lose. So a lot of the times when there's a big gap, you see a bit of a comeback more often than not, you know, because it's hard to put those last couple games away when you're that far ahead. There's no pressure. That little bit of pressure keeps you focused as far as being a front runner, and it gives a nice, relaxing, you know, like I said, nothing to lose to your opponent who's down so far.
This is the shot of the rack. I like the angle that he got here. You got to hit the 6, and you got to get a little bit lucky, get something out of this. He hit the 6. He did not get a little bit lucky.
He's going to end up behind the 10. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. And this is not an easy kick either, you know. You can play one rail where you're at or this way. You're not getting much separation, but you might end up between the 9 ball. Played it with some speed. But, yeah, that's not an easy kick. 6 ball's pretty open from there, you know. You really got to hit that bottom rail real clean and know how that's going to react off the rail. Any kind of spin, any kind of miss speed, you're going to miss the 6, just kind of like you did.
Yeah, just unfortunate. That was a good played the whole first half of that rack basically perfect. And you know, he could have tried for a breakout a little earlier, but I wouldn't have either. And then just got unfortunate with the breakout. The kid kissed off a ball and he's hooked. Here's interesting here. Do you play this 6-10? Or do you because the 7 to the 9 is not
guaranteed, yeah.
It's a little bit of a decision on how to play shape there. Not really. I mean, I guess the 10 is low enough where but
this is
go.
pretty straight. It's pretty straight.
He's playing the combo. Fire in the hole. Clear.
Do you know what kind of sauce Tom gets with his chicken wings?
Nope.
It's blue cheese. He's shooting blue cheese.
Oh.
There you go. That's a good one, huh?
He's going for some blue. He likes blue cheese.
He's shooting the cheese ball, but it's 10 ball, so he's playing blue cheese. That's what he likes with his chicken wings, you know. And that was a pretty solid shot. You know, it was there, so he took full advantage and Probably get some chicken wings after the match, you know.
I'll tell you what, Barry Chapman is my bud. He plays all the early money balls.
As soon as they're there.
Fires at these things. He's got on his backstroke the backhand. Imagine the cue and it comes up almost 90 degrees just so he can build up a big follow through and go forward and get that money ball, especially a 9-ball, moving. It's coming 6-7 rails. There's 6 pockets out there. That's his motto.
And you know, if you do that a lot, you don't necessarily have to practice it, but if you end up doing it a lot, you kind of get a feel for where that 9-ball is going to go. And I mean, it's hard to predict exactly where it's going to end up, but you kind of get a feel for how good your chances are of making it, you know, even though they're pretty small. You
Arizona.
Can weigh them out.
You from Arizona?
I am from Arizona.
A lot of bangers out there.
Yeah,
That's what
man.
they play is 9-ball. They don't, like you said, you don't play much 8-ball. I lived in Nevada for a long time.
Yeah.
There's a ton of 9-ball there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of 8-ball here.
Yeah.
And so when you have those just two different kind of cultures, we're not used to, you know,
Flying.
Banging at money balls and getting that speed you're talking about down where it always has a chance at 2 rails and you always create distance where maybe you're leaving something not great, you know. I call it banger speed. There's a guy I know from Vegas. His name is David, Hispanic dude. Man, this guy, I thought he was just getting lucky on me like crazy for years, and finally I gave up. I'm like, this isn't luck. There's a method to this madness where he's always firing at these money balls on me and never leaving me a shot. And he makes a ton of them too, but when he misses, when I miss those kind of shots, I'm selling out.
Selling the farm.
I'm sold.
Look at this combo. This is tough combo.
Heyo.
There you go. You know what?
He said, look, eye for an eye.
Steve might get some blue cheese with his wings himself. Looks like everybody's eating chicken wings tonight, but that was a great shot. That was a little more off angle, and obviously he didn't have ball in hand to line it up. So that pulls him 1 game ahead. I mean, Tom's on the hill, so it's going to be a tough fight. This is one of those things where another instance where you want to take it, you know, 2 games at a time. Not 1 game, not 5 games, but 2 to 3 games at a time. You know, you battle back 2 or 3, and then you reassess your situation. How's my opponent feeling at the table? How am I feeling at the table? And you really allow yourself to get back in the match, not only score line, but mentally, you know. You start getting a little momentum back. You can definitely battle back, because we've all seen those crazy comebacks from hill down. So it's definitely possible, but you gotta
these are the best. When you can come back from down big.
Start battling back, yep.
It's also the worst when you have a big, huge lead and you just can't finish, and one thing leads to another. Next thing you know, they're on the hill, and now all the pressure in the world's on you. They're still free rolling, and now they're in a gear. Now you're cold.
Yep.
This that can get out of hand too. He got out of hand early, but the comeback can get out of hand.
Ooh. Run into that 4 nice and full, but he's might be blocked on the 10 here. He might have a 1 rail kick at the 2 to make it, but I don't think he's got it straight in.
I think he can see the 2 or cut it in.
Overhead.
Plus, when you have you play this with inside, so it kind of opens up that hit that perfect. You play this with inside, so then it kind of deflects a little bit to create the angle, even if you are hooked by a hair.
Yeah, you kind of swerve a little like a mini masse, and that throw helps you. If you cut it a little thin, that inside spin with the throw is going to help you.
What
too.
I'm interested in here is a 6 past a 9, because if it does not, you got to do a little more work.
I'm pretty sure this overhead angle tells us it does. We can definitely check out the duel and see what it looks like from the side and the overview.
I'm just looking down. I'm looking straight at the table, and from me looking straight at the table, I don't know. If it does go, it's half a pocket. Here he goes. He's looking at it.
Yeah, we'll see how he plays this 5 ball. That's going to tell us all we need to know. And you know what? He might, if it doesn't go, he might consider the 6-10 as well. and play like a 3-rail around the
More
table.
blue cheese? This is Wisconsin, by the way. We like ranch. You Arizona blue cheese.
No, I'm not sure
You
that's an
gotta-
Arizona thing, man. It's just a
It's a West
10-ball.
Coast.
Yeah, it's a 10-ball thing. I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
we see. I just see the run out. I don't even see these like firing the whole combos. We play the game clean up here, man. Keep that blue cheese crap out in the West Coast. We want ranch.
You know what? That tells me that 6-ball probably didn't pass, or if it did, it was really, really tight. Wasn't comfortable with it. So we tried to play a safety and hook him with the 10, and the 6-ball got away from him there.
Ooh, I like this safety.
This is great
nice.
Those balls are making babies. They are making babies.
Tighter than 2 coats of paint.
Yep. I got to repaint the 7-ball after that shot. It was a great shot. Really tied to it. He's going to get the hit here? No.
All right. So I'm just rolling up, playing the combo 7-8. 9-ball's a little weird, but be more than happy to get anything on that 9-ball.
As far as the 7-ball goes, it's a little bit, it's on the rail more than the 8-ball, so it's going to be drifting towards that side rail. You definitely don't want to be dead straight on the 7-8 combo. You want a little bit of angle to get the cue ball off the end rail as well, so you have a cut in that top right pocket, the same pocket as the 8. So he ends up straight, he could be in trouble.
See, I'm seeing that different than you. I think the 7-ball's off the rail a little bit more than the 8-ball. But if
I think
it is as you described, then
you might be right. It's pretty straight.
Then I agree with. Oh, you don't want. That's
See,
not what
it
you
did
want.
end up drifting a little bit to the right, but he played it real soft to try to hold it, and played a little bit too much top. When you play top spin on your cue ball in a combo,
how about no top? How about a stop shot?
Yeah,
there?
exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you play top spin on your cue ball, the cue ball is going to run, and your object ball is going to die for that combo. It's going to transfer a little bit of bottom, which is going to allow your first ball that you are striking to die off of that combo. And he rolled the cue ball up to that 7-ball because the 7-ball is going to die, and the cue ball's got some spin on it.
Wow, he was firing at this. I guess there wasn't much safes there, but that was
a no bars hole. You know, that was a do or
the
die
offense.
situation.
Yeah, when you're down good, you're like, all right, I'm
might as well
not grinding out some like 51% safe. I'm firing. Let's go.
Yeah, and that's gonna give a good opportunity for Tom to close it out here. 2 rails. That's really beautiful. I think you'll play the 10-ball in the same pocket here. Or you could put a little baby draw here. But I think he's got a little too much angle. I like the 2 rails back to the middle of the table.
I'm going high right, just coming out 1 rail. You have so many options here. You're close to the ball. It's almost impossible to miss. He's playing low, just stunning across. Oh, low and hold it. Okay.
He held that really nice. Yeah, with that much angle, it's tough to hold that ball, but he did really well. So this is going to be the match here.
This is for the win.
All right.
Tommy boy Manena with a blowout victory, 12-5. There's the cash.
There it is. Yeah, I think Steve didn't play too bad. Obviously, we probably know Steve can play better, but he was struggling at the end of the racks a lot of the time. He made a couple big mistakes to sell out, a couple easy runs for Tom to pull out in front early. And I think that really dictated the whole beginning of the match. But either way, thank you guys for tuning in to the Knights match here. We really appreciate you guys staying here with us every weekend at the OS. And have a great night. Thanks again. Thank you, Ray.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, make sure you guys tune in to the state tournament. We'll be streaming all weekend from Thursday to Sunday. I'll be. In
Oh,
the
really? I
booth.
didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So all this weekend, Mad Apple Extreme's going to be streaming the biggest state tournament that we have.
Absolutely.
WSPA.
I'll be in the booth, Ray. You come find me. You can join me anytime, brother.
All right. I love it. I'm playing Thursday, but the other days, I'm working or I'll be around.
Yeah. So
I'll be looking to maybe do this again.
absolutely. Yeah, I had fun. Thank you guys again, and we'll see you on Thursday.
All right. See ya.